Oops. Okay. Um, I'm sorry. How do you pronounce your first name?
Tiana.
Tiana? Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry. Hi, Tiana. Thanks for joining me today.
absolutely.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. So today I just wanted to go over a couple questions to get kind of more insight into your company and some of the struggles and strengths that you're dealing with at this current moment. And hopefully we can figure out a way that as my consultant company can help you achieve your goals to make your organization more successful.
Yeah.
Does that
Great.
sound all right with you?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. So let's get started. Uh, so can you describe the primary challenges of your organization that um, you're currently facing that led you to seeking consulting in the first place?
Yeah, so I have a relatively moderate size organization and I have three managers underneath me and none of them are really performing. Like they're not really taking leadership roles and so they're constantly coming to me to check in on things and it's bogging me down. I'm basically having to do
Mhm.
their job and my job. And so I'm seeking out some consulting to help empower them to make decisions and be the leaders of the team that they have underneath them.
Okay. So it sounds like there's a little bit of struggle with the leadership aspects within your organization. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
So what specific outcomes or improvements would you like to achieve through this consulting?
I would love my three managers underneath me to feel more empowered to make decisions without constantly having to check in with me.
Okay. In your view, what are the key strengths of your organization that could support these changes or improvements?
Mhm. I think all three of my managers are really open for coaching and consulting. I think they'd all be
Mhm.
really eager to have more knowledge of how to do their jobs better. Um, I think right now our products are selling well and the actual like business itself is doing really well financially. So I think that's a strength for sure. Um, Yeah, I think we have, and I think our mission and our vision, all of that stuff is really it's established well. The community or our clients that use our services, they understand what we provide, so that's also a strength.
Okay, awesome. So my next question would be, have there been any previous attempts to address these issues? And if so, what worked and what didn't?
Not with an outside consultant. So this would be the first time I would be seeking an external consultant.
Okay.
Most of the attempts to get my managers to take on more of a leadership role have been through me unsuccessfully.
Mhm.
Um, I think because we were a startup and it was just me starting everything, I think and I'm still involved, a lot of them see me as they want to make sure that everything that they're doing is within the vision of like the owner developer. So I think having an outsider come in will be helpful in that.
Totally. And looking to the future, how do you envision your organization evolving or improving in the long term as a result of this consultation?
I think it's going to free me up a lot. So I feel like I'm not able to be as visionary as I would like because I'm spending so much time like making decisions for them or with them. So I think if they're feeling more empowered to do their job without needing to step in and talk to me all the time, then it'll free me up to be more of a visionary of where I want to take this. Then I want to be able to vision where I want this org to go next. So that will be what will happen.
Okay. And what resources or support do you believe are necessary to make these changes successful?
I mean, if I'm being honest, I think obviously I'm playing a role in this. So I think learning for myself what I need to do to I say that I want to empower them, but they're not feeling empowered.
Okay.
So if there's books I need to read or if I need my own coaching, like I'm very open to that. So I think having a consultant potentially with me and also with all three of my managers is going to be really helpful in making sure that they get what they need.
Okay. Well, that's awesome to hear that you're open to helping this organization however you can.
Yeah, it's my baby.
Do you feel that your other managers and the other leadership in your organization feel the same way?
Yeah, I think every human wants to feel empowered to do their job. So there's something
Hmm.
that's preventing them from feeling that way fully. So I'd like to get to the root of that to figure out why they're not feeling empowered to lead.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, totally. And my last question would be, what would success look like for you at the end of this consultation process?
Success would look like my managers taking more ownership of their roles in the business, freeing time up for me to be more of the visionary. Um, I suspect that some of that success, again, is going to come from my role as well. So, like being okay with them making mistakes as they start to take on more of that ownership role and
Hmm.
working through those as well so that the organization can continue to be successful while they still like they figure out their role as leaders, you know?
Totally. Yeah. So it sounds like this consultation is really going to help um, not only yourself, but the other leaders in your organization to be a little bit more proactive and empowered to do their own work,
Yes,
right?
correct.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for answering those questions.
Mhm.
That has given me a lot to reflect on, and yeah, I would love to send you over a formal contract. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time today, and yeah,
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
all right.
All right. Yeah, I think your questions are really insightful, which is wonderful. I think generally from a feedback place, having a like so I don't know, do you actually do any consulting now or no? Okay. I do, and I do discovery calls, but I do them on the phone. I don't
Hmm.
do them on a visual, like on Zoom or anything like that.
Hmm.
So if this were something that if you were going to use an actual visual mode to do this, I would just say, and this is purely the situation of this class, but I would
Yeah,
probably not take it from your cell phone outside, right? So,
totally,
which you already know. Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. Um, I think the only other thing that I would um maybe suggest is um I think that I'd have to rewatch the video, but I think one of your
Hmm.
questions early on, I kind of answered what success would look like, and then you asked that question at the end.
Yeah,
So I would say maybe tweaking the second question so you get a different answer, or maybe even just dropping it all together if a client answers the question early on, even without the question. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I definitely, as I was reading the questions, I was like, yeah, I already asked this pretty much just in a different way
Yeah.
and the same answer. So yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
It's really, really nice to have these practice calls because I'm tweaking so even I do this for a living and I'm tweaking so much of what I do with this practice. So it's great to have that. But I loved that I mean, I could tell you were listening. You were again repeating back to me what I was saying, which was great.
Hmm.
I definitely felt like you understood what my issues were and that you would be able to help with those. It wasn't a foreign concept to you, which was great. So that you seem like an expert in the field on leadership, which is great.
Somewhat, yeah. A little bit more practice for sure. I feel like I was just not very fluent there, especially at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, this is the practice part, right? Comes with time.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
So good. Okay. I'll go ahead and stop the recording for this.